Episode 56 PJ, January 22, 2024. Indoor residential wood burners get a pass in New York State. New York State and New York City. As New York makes an energy transition, fireplace users get a pass. Gothamist Burning wood for primary and secondary heating, a member of the New York State Climate Action Council that helped craft the CLCPA, and the executive director of the Energy Justice Law and Policy Center, said, "Nobody's banning wood-burning stoves because there's a really important understanding that folks are using this because they need it because it's cold." RAWSEP View. See also Fool's Corner at the end of this episode, where fools advise fools to continue burning indoor residentially in New York City fireplaces and indoor residential wood stoves as well as in New York State, to the detriment of wood burners' health and, most importantly, their near neighbors' health and additionally, hastening climate change. From the Gothamist article, as New York City and the state begin enforcing stringent new climate laws this year, the oldest form of heating, wood burning, has been excluded from the regulations. RAWSEP View. Scott Fitzgerald said it. "The rich are different from you and me." RAWSEP View. Yes, the rich have more money, which in this case allows them to evade the spirit of wood-burning regulations and any future wood-burning ban laws. Technically evade the letter of the law with influence that comes from money. And having that money in that fireplace or indoor residential wood stove proves that the wood burning is not being done by the indigent occasionally as vacation home sole source home heating or by the indigent as primary home sole source home heating. Since moneyed New Yorkers in a metropolis must be hooked up to natural gas or other modern home heating alternatives which are cleaner than indoor residential wood burning, and wealthy residents in, for example, the New York State's Hudson Valley, are also hooked up to cleaner methods of home heating than wood burning. The Arkansas article embedded in this critique of the Gothamist article also points out that firewood prices make wood burning cost prohibitive for all but the moneyed, and wood burning is not cost-effective compared to other home heating methods, especially clean electric heat pumps that work down to 40 below zero. In 2024 offered with an up to $8,000 rebate per household, based on a sliding scale of household income. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against wood smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. January 21, 2024. 50 comments. RAWSEP View. The need for regulation of, or simply ending wood burning in New York State from the Gothamist article. Although only about 2.5% of the state's households burn wood for heat, this small portion is responsible for 90% of the fine particulate matter pollution attributed to residential home heating, according to a study published in the Journal of the Air and Waste Management Association. RAWSEP View. Reason given by apologists for air pollution for not stopping wood burning in New York State. See Fool's Corner at the end of this episode 56 PJ for similar rationales for indoor residential wood burning and the fools advising fools to continue indoor residential wood burning, to the detriment of their health and to the detriment of the health of their near neighbors, canaries in a coal mine, in the process also hastening climate change. Switching to an alternate form of heat is indeed a viable option for residents of New York State, in RAWSEP's view. Viable in biological terms means capable of surviving or living successfully. Human beings are not generally capable of surviving or living successfully in the presence of wood smoke. Wood burning emits 2.8 times the CO2 and PM 2.5 as coal burning. Wood burning emits 450 times the PM 2.5 as natural gas burning. Wood burning emits 90% PM 2.5, particulate matter of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. A low cost, with subsidies, alternative to wood burning in 2024 are heat pumps that work at temperatures down to 40 degrees below zero, subsidized for up to $8,000 per household based on a sliding income scale. Electric heat pumps also double as air conditioners. Excerpt from the Gothamist article. While banning or restricting the form of heat isn't on state and local agendas, switching to a more environmentally friendly heat source isn't a viable option for many homeowners. RAWSEP View of the regulations themselves in New York City itself. From the Gothamist article, as New York City and the state begin enforcing stringent new climate laws this year, wood burning has been excluded from the regulations. Fireplaces and wood stoves aren't mentioned in the final rules that went into effect this month for the city's local Law 97, which forces buildings to cut their carbon emissions. RAWSEP View of the regulations themselves in New York State itself. Just because it is cold in New York State does not mean that New York State should continue to use the most polluting method of indoor residential, home, Heating, wood burning. We in 2024 have clean alternatives to the dirtiest form of home heating, starting with heat pumps that work down to 40 degrees below zero, continuing with the cleaner bridges to heat pumps of natural gas and propane. To name only a few cleaner alternatives to wood burning. Heat pumps that work to 40 degrees below zero, powered by wind and solar, powering an electric grid extending to all rural areas, is what New York State should be putting their funds from the Inflation Reduction Act into. From the Gothamist article, wood burning. Regulations were left out of the rules of the state's Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act, or CLCPA, which are expected to be finalized this year. RAWSEP View of the misnamed groups. The misnamed New York State Climate Action Council, CAC, the misnamed Climate Leadership Community Protection Act, CLCPA, and the misnamed Energy Justice Law and Policy Center, EJLAPC. Do not protect the New York State public from air pollution from indoor residential wood burning, and do not protect the New York State public from climate change, and indeed only produce statements which are excuses for wood burning that hasten climate change. Instead of acting against climate change, the New York State organizations excuse continuing air pollution from indoor residential wood burning, which contributes to climate change, not to mention excuse wood burning air pollution, PM 2.5. That shortens the lives of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. From the Gothamist article, a member of the New York State Climate Action Council, CAC, that helped clumsily craft the Climate Leadership Community Protection Act, CLCPA, says that's by design. Wood burning for residential use is a massive source of emissions in New York State and also damages human health, said the executive director of the Energy Justice Law and Policy Center, EJLAPC. This is concentrated in the rural areas, largely upstate where it's very cold, where folks are actually burning wood for primary and secondary heating, she added. But nobody's banning wood-burning stoves because there's a really important understanding that folks are using this because they need it because it's cold. RAWSEP View concerning New York City. This Gothamist article briefly touches on a mild critique of continuing wood-burning in New York City. Is the Gothamist happy or nostalgic when describing that the number of working fireplaces in New York City is dwindling? It is unclear from this Gothamist article. Every fireplace shut down is a victory for clean air and concomitant health savings, both in the pocketbook of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners and in the extension of lifespans of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. A new wrinkle added to the reasons for burning wood is mentioned. Watching a wood fire is hypnotic. Hypnotic trance is not a good enough reason for directly causing unnecessary illness and early deaths for near neighbors. Wood burning does not actually cause holiday cheer when near neighbors are forced to breathe in air pollution caused by wood burning. Since the 3,300 working fireplaces in New York City have been identified, according to this Gothamist article, it should not be hard to enforce wood burning bans and possibly even removal of fireplaces from these 3,300 New York City residences in a New York City population of over 8.4 million, according to 2021 statistics. From the Gothamist article, lack of regulation or not stopping indoor residential wood burning in New York City means the dwindling number of New York City homes with working fireplaces can keep lighting logs, for now. From the Gothamist article, it's warm and it's cozy, and it's also kind of hypnotic watching the flames dance, said a West Village resident who has 6 working fireplaces in her historic row house. But from a climate standpoint, they have to be eliminated. We have to give way to reality, said she, who only lights fires occasionally, usually for guests, a nice snowfall, or some holiday cheer. New York City implemented a ban on fireplaces in new construction in 2014, and only around 3,300 legal and functioning fireplaces remain in the 5 boroughs, according to a 2014 New York Times report. RAWSEP View concerning New York State wood burners outside New York City. RAWSEP View. It is no badge of pride that New York State is the United States' second highest buyer of firewood. Is there sales tax on firewood in New York State? No. Firewood products are exempt from all sales tax in Connecticut and exempt from state sales tax in New York State. Firewood products are subject to Westchester County, New York sales tax. RAWSEP View. One perspective from 2021 on some states such as Arkansas selling firewood to other states such as New York State follows in an Arkansas article. The Arkansas firewood seller said Hudson Valley, New York State customers would buy firewood at any price, which contradicts the statements by New York lawmakers excusing wood burning in New York State because wood burners are seemingly indigent. https://www.arkansas.online.com/news/2021/NOV//us-boom-and-prices/question. Mark Business U.S. Firewood seeing boom in sales, rise in prices. November 21st, 2021. Excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against with smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. An inflation surge affecting United States products includes firewood. It's a fuel from earlier times, so niche an industry that no one appears to even try to track pricing on a national level. Talk to firewood vendors in state after state, though, and they'll all tell you the same thing. Prices are soaring. At Standing Rock Farms in Stone Ridge, New York, the best hardwoods now fetch $475 a cord, up 19% from last year. Some demand for firewood is a work-from-home thing. White-collar workers cooped up in their suburban homes or country escapes are rediscovering an evening by the fire. This is the typical client. Firewood, she said, has become scarce in Arkansas, too. Just over 1% of households will use firewood or wood pellets as their primary heating source in the U.S. this winter, and it equates to 1.7 million households. Another 8% of the population will use wood as a secondary heating source. Given how much cord prices are now spiking, the switch to it isn't a money saver for homeowners. One sure money loser is burning wood in a conventional fireplace. Using wood in a fireplace makes no sense from an energy perspective, says a research engineer at Brookhaven National Laboratory on Long Island. In American history, there have been booms in the firewood business. The almost 50% jump is in orders for the wood stoves. The Arkansas firewood supplier also sells at prices of $2,800 and up. Across the state line, the Arkansas firewood seller sells to wealthier clientele in the Hudson Valley of New York State, typically not bothered by financial considerations. They keep buying wood at a relentless clip. The Arkansas firewood seller already sold 3,300 cords of oak, ash, hickory, and other hardwoods this season. His advice to those in search of wood next season: order it by Easter. From the Gothamist article, contradicting common sense, contradicting the View from the Arkansas article, contradicting the fact that firewood is expensive, and contradicting the fact that buyers of firewood are affluent. From the Gothamist article, but it's a different story outside New York City. New York State is the nation's second largest buyer of firewood, and many of its regions are completely reliant on wood for heat. RAWSEP interjection: there are alternatives to wood burning for home heating that cost less and pollute less, starting with 2024's highly subsidized electric heat pumps. New York State has had rural electrification for at least 75 years, and so electric heat pumps can be easily installed and used anywhere in rural New York State. Just over 113,000 homes burn almost 2 billion tons of trees annually, an amount that is roughly equal to the weight of 5,500 Empire State Buildings. The Gothamist article continues, quoting a legislator oblivious to matters of fact and reality: protecting wood-burning methods of home heating is critical for upstate and North Country New Yorkers, said Republican United States Congress Representative Elise Stefanik of New York State, who represents most of North Country New York State region. Comments excerpts edited by RAWSEP for brevity and clarity in relationship to residents against with smoke emission particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. 1. Fireplaces are really, really bad for the air and for lungs. I grew up next to a house that burned wood and my sibling and I coughed all winter long because of it. 2. Massachusetts gives massive rebates to install heat pumps. Here in Vermont, unfortunately, we don't get much. We're also on hydronic gas heating, but use it as a secondary heating system and waiting for more incentives before making the switch to heat pumps. We were quoted $25,000 to install mini splits. 3. Tax incentives are in place to install heat pumps and insulate, but it's still a major undertaking. People who burn wood are great candidates for heat pumps, but the issue is that most of these old houses are horribly insulated. The woman quoted here is a biology professor, so she, like 5, burning wood is an incredibly inefficient method of heating and creates pollution that contributes to asthma. California is paying for home fireplaces to be fitted with a gas insert heater, which is not perfect but far better than wood. New York ought to do the same. 5. That is an almost insane exclusion. One wood-burning fireplace emits more VECs, fine particles, and soot than several dozen gas heaters. Just look up how it actually burns. Modern wood pellet ovens have to include some form of converter to clean the exhaust for a reason. 7. Local 97 only applies to buildings over 25,000 square feet. 8. They probably should be banned along with dirty heating oil in NYC because of particulate matter. 9. I just stumbled on a peer-reviewed article about wood burning in NYC. It states that 700 to 1,500 New Yorkers died in 2017 from wood smoke. Headlines: PM 2.5 and pulmonary toxicity. Assessment of wood smoke-induced pulmonary toxicity in normal and chronic bronchitis respiratory research, Biomed Central. Fuel burning. However, knowledge on COPD pathomechanisms is mainly limited to tobacco smoke exposure. In this study, a repeated direct wood smoke. California, University of California Davis. Public health officials should urgently prioritize reducing exposure to indoor fine national academies. Of special concern is fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, PM with a diameter of 2.5 microns, less than 0.0001 inch or smaller. Fine PM is small enough to. A new report from the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine recommends public health officials and other local and regional agencies take action to mitigate exposure to fine particulate matter indoors, prioritizing interventions among susceptible populations, including older adults, young children. California, Pasadena. Suspicious Pasadena church fire being investigated as vandalism. Pasadena Star News. An email was sent to the pastor, the Reverend Joseph Choi, seeking comment. Wood burning ban in effect. Mississippi. Elevated black carbon levels found in several Mississippi cities. See the list here. The Clarion Ledger. Prolonged exposure to PM 2.5 air pollution is linked with approximately 4 million deaths around the globe yearly. Mississippians are already at a high. Mississippi, Gautier, Crane Refuge. Fire near I-10 in Gautier produces heavy smoke and police warn drivers to avoid area. Yahoo News. The Gautier Fire Department said there was an active wood fire burning in Crane Refuge. It warned drivers to avoid the frontage road area. Traffic. Mississippi, Jones County, Moselle, Laurel. Laurel Fire Department seeing increase in illegal burning, WDM burn in barrels, or New Jersey, Teterboro. Dumpster fire quickly doused in Woodridge Avalon Apartments. T.A. Pinto Woodridge Police Captain Joseph Biamani. Upon arrival, officers began evacuating the residents as they observed a smoke condition on the first floor. Tennessee, Clarksville. House destroyed by fire in Clarksville, likely from wood-burning stove. ClarksvilleNow.com. The fire is believed to have started from a wood-burning stove. As of 11 a.m., the fire was under control and firefighters were extinguishing hot wood-burning stove believed to be source of Clarksville house fire. WKRN officials said no injuries were reported following the fire, which is believed to have started from a wood-burning stove. Fire investigators. While below freezing temperatures pose their own danger, heat sources can be just as hazardous if not used properly, as seen in a Saturday morning. Wood-burning stove believed to be source of Clarksville house fire. Yahoo News, Washington, D.C. 3 tips for warming your home that can save energy and help the planet. The Washington Post. Don't rely on traditional wood-burning fireplaces. If you're looking for some extra heat this winter, you might turn to your fireplace if you have one. Burning logs of wood in an open fireplace can also cause air quality problems. Experts say smoke from residential wood burning is a major cause of wood burning by households can produce more than 300,000 tons per year of fine particulate matter, or PM 2.5, which is a hazardous air pollutant. Canada, the Maritime Provinces, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Prince Edward Island, portions of Maine and Quebec. Federal government examining wood oven emissions, CTV Atlantic. CTV News. Some businesses that use wood-burning stoves to cook food could be affected by the federal government monitoring carbon emissions. Canada. 3 tips for warming your home that can save energy and help the planet. Yahoo News, Canada. Burning logs of wood in an open fireplace can also cause air quality problems. Experts say smoke from residential wood burning is a major cause of. Don't rely on traditional wood-burning fireplaces. If you're looking for some extra heat this winter, you might turn to your fireplace if you have one. Burning logs of wood in an open fireplace can also cause air quality problems. Experts say smoke from residential wood burning is a major cause of. Wood burning by households can produce more than 300,000 tons per year of fine particulate matter, or PM 2.5, which is a hazardous air pollutant. Canada, Ontario, Muskoka. Fire department sounds alarm after dangerous level of carbon monoxide inside Baysville home. Muskoka 411 both wood and gas burning appliances can produce dangerous levels of carbon monoxide. The Huntsville/Lake of Bays Fire Department had recently. Ireland, County Westmeath. Checking out the air that we breathe. Westmeath Examiner worrying levels of PM 2.5 particulates were found in certain locations. Checking out the air that we breathe. January 21, 2024. United Kingdom, Yorkshire, Beverley. Clean Air Night highlights harms of wood burning. HU17.net. Rural areas like the East Riding tend to have higher reliance on alternative heating fuels, like wood burners or oil heating. Pollution particles. East Riding of Yorkshire Council is supporting the Global Action Plan, which is highlighting the harms caused by wood burning. Bangladesh, Dhaka. Dhaka's air second worst in the world this morning. The Daily Star PM should really be an Iron Lady, no gas supply in CTG due to glitch 2.5 refers to size. Level of air pollution in Dhaka. According to the Bangladesh, Dhaka. Dhaka's air fifth worst in the world this morning. The Daily Star PM stands for particulate matter and 2.5 refers to size. According to the Department of Environment, since 2018, the annual average concentration of Bangladesh, Dhaka. Today, a gallery, January 21, 2024. The Daily Star. A woman checking a wood-burning stove, made out of cement, outside a shop in Dhaka's Dolayapur yesterday. Traders say sales of these stoves have. Cambodia, Phnom Penh. Ministry introduce environmental protection measures for dry season. Phnom Penh Post. As of January 16, the air quality situation in Cambodia had improved. The PM 2.5 inertial particle level was between 18.03 micrograms per cubic meter to 21.43 micrograms per cubic meter. India. Adopt ecology-based designs to combat air pollution. IIT professor. The New Indian Express. PM 2.5, and there will be a 40% reduction in ambient pollution, he added. Citing an example of one of the biggest industries in India, the Indian state of Karnataka. India, Delhi. Childhood cancers doubled in Delhi in 25 years, when city's air quality also became toxic down to earth. Ground-level fine particles, PM 2.5. For a whiff of pollution-free air, Deccan Herald. When it comes to mitigating asthma triggers, such as smoke from burning wood or other plants, dust, pollen, cold air, and abrupt deterioration from India, New Delhi. AQI. Air Quality Index real-time air pollution. Money Control New Delhi AQI. Air Quality Index today. Cloud. 20C. Cloudy. AQIN. For 12. Hazardous. PM 2.5. 298. PM 10. 918. Hazardous. May cause respiratory. Thailand, Bangkok. Dozens of areas in and around Bangkok suffering excessive PM 2.5 pollution today. Thai PBS World. China, 75.5 micrograms per cubic meter. Tax, Bangkok. Excessive PM 2.5, PM 2.5 Thailand. Chiang Mai. Court orders government to form urgent plan to address PM 2.5. ASEAN now PM 2.5.png. The Administrative Court in Chiang Mai today ordered Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin and the National Environment Board to draw up in Thailand. The hidden dangers of PM 2.5. Thai PBS World. Thai PBS World talks to a medical expert to get a better understanding of the hidden dangers of PM 2.5 pollution. The persistent PM 2.5 pollution has Thailand. Public advised to use N95 mask as PM 2.5 in Bangkok at unsafe levels. Nation Thailand. How to cope when PM 2.5 pollution takes hold. A month ago, December 18, 2023. Fool's Corner. Advice from fools to fools. Wear a home burning down is caused by a wood-burning stove, but the only advice is to burn dry wood. Fire extinguished before damaging Decatur Church. Herald-Review.com. Always burn dry. Season wood. Seasoned wood burns more effectively and reduces harmful byproducts. Skip the fire if your wood is damp. Burning wet. Fool's Corner, where fools are advised by fools to burn wood chips to make their cocktails smoky. Smoky cocktails, the New Indian Express. Before serving, the drink is placed inside the box with wood chips or herbs, and the smoke is infused into the beverage. Smoked components, another. Fool's Corner, where fools are advised by fools to breathe in wood smoke while watching movies. Rooftop cinema clubs, fireside films bring cozy times and treats to DTLA. NBC Los Angeles. The movie series is launching in February with wood-burning patio heaters and warm drinks. Fool's Corner, where fools are advised by fools to buy $1 million home in order to cook over a wood fire, mimicking air pollution from wood burning in deprived populations. Prairie-style home near BDE Makaska with view of Minneapolis skyline lists for $1.139 million. Star Tribune. Kimberly James will never forget the ice rink her father made in the backyard each winter, or her family cooking over the wood-burning fireplace in Fool's Corner, where fools are advised by fools to hike only if they can turn their campsites into air-polluted sites from wood burning. There's only one hiker's hut in the Bay Area. Here's what it's like to stay there. 7x7 Bay Area. A wood-burning stove provides most of the heat for the hut. Shosher Parks. The sun is on the verge of setting by the time we get back to the hut. Fool's Corner, where fools are advised by fools to buy a $4 million home in order to breathe with smoke pollution, mimicking air pollution from wood burning in deprived populations. Step inside Emma Stone's sunlit LA home, up for sale at $4 million. Yahoo News. Singapore. Other idyllic features include a second-floor balcony surrounded by greenery, florals, and a yuzu tree, a cozy wood-burning fireplace in the living. Fool's Corner, where fools are advised by fools to breathe in wood smoke while preserving food, ignoring clean methods for preserving food, and mimicking conditions of deprived populations, breaking down the science of preserving food with smoke. Slurp. Antibacterial properties. Food is smoked as part of a traditional food preservation technique, which involves burning with smoke. Through several. Fool's Corner, where fools are advised by fools to breathe in wood smoke that is human-generated and not found in nature unless people start a wood-burning fire. Mother Nature has nothing to do with it, fools. Camping cologne should be cologne, although also, actual cologne is not universally loved, which may be why the man is alone in the wilderness to start with. Outdoors. Observing the curious adventures of the gray fox on camera and off. San Diego Union Tribune. The blended smell of pines, summer grass, and wood smoke combined as a kind of camping cologne that only nature can create. Fool's Corner, where fools are advised by fools to look back nostalgically to re-experience the smells of charcoal, dung, and wood used in the 1850s and responsible for the problem of smoke that killed many in that evocative time. Smoke Genie of Old Calcutta. The statesman. Charcoal, dung, wood, etc. used as fuels before the mid-19th century were responsible for the problem of smoke, or miasma. Fool's Corner, where fools are advised by fools to eat snow. Snow cream, snow cone, snow salt chocosino. Is snow safe to eat? 10news.com. The most common is black carbon from coal-fired plants and wood-burning stoves. In a sense, that is why it is better to wait until a few hours. Fool's Corner, where fools are advised by fools to buy logs, although they are rising in price, instead of the clean alternatives for home heating such as highly subsidized heat pumps that work to 40 degrees below zero. United Kingdom, Suffolk. Log prices are higher than ever, so who's to blame? The Times. At her home on the Suffolk coast, Katrina Burrows has logged a £500 increase in the price of fuel for her wood burner.